We're going to start with an invocation from Hal.
Hey, Heavenly Father, thank you for the season. Thank you for your birth. Thank you for all the good that this club does and that you allow us to do here and around the world. And bless this food to our lives. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay, and David is going to do our Pledge of Allegiance for us.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Marilyn for the song.
My country is a peace, sweet land of liberty, of the I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims ride, from every mountain side, let freedom ring.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Lions and guests. We're going to send it back there to the back and ask if we have guests with us today.
I'm Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. John Searing has his resident guest and the speaker to introduce today.
Do you want my microphone?
I didn't know I was moving.
Just a second, let me make sure it's on. Oh, not yet. Now it's on. You got it.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guest. Actually, I have my resident guest, Tommy Chamberlain. And my speaker today is Michael Wisman from Tote, Maritime, the company I used to work for 28 years. And then I have my niece, Lindsay Scheffler Harris. She works at the Port of Longview as the procurement manager for the port.
Okay, well, welcome, you guys.
Oh yeah, Greg, get her a deal, sign her up.
He's on it.
Yeah. You didn't think I was going to buy you lunch for nothing.
Do we have a sunshine report today?
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, there is no sunshine report today. I'm hoping everyone is doing well.
Yes.
Oh, she's got her hand raised over here.
Anne.
Apparently there is one that I don't know about.
President Carrie Ann, Lions and guests. Just a note on Dale Wheeler. I called him the other day, or actually emailed him. He is still on bed rest. I don't know any details, but he had an MRI done, and he's waiting for the results on January 20th. So until then, he is on bed rest.
That's a long wait. Okay, let's send it off with happy dollars.
Oh, our favorite subject, accounts receivable. Oh, excuse me.
Just say has been. It's simpler that way for most of us.
No, that's great, Kurt.
Lions and guests,
Great.
and President Carrie Ann. First, to begin the $5, I'm very happy that I was able to go out and do some bell ringing. It was a little bit of a snafu in locations. I ended up being solo for 2 hours, or almost 2 hours. John was there for the first 15 minutes of that, but he was filling in from a previous. Sad dollar, a lot of family challenges are continuing. I wasn't able to go to the Christmas social, and I have to duck out early today due to some of that. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a very healthy New Year in the coming year. Quote of the week, before I head out the back door, from Robert Brault. A parent's love is whole, no matter how many times divided.
Well, thank you, and all right.
Merry Christmas,
Mark.
Mark.
Whatever you'd like to say. Oh, hello. Line up.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions in the back, guests, and Cousin John. Let's see, where do we start? Gosh, had an incredible family birthday celebration up in Victoria, BC fancy the Royal Canadian Hotel for a huge meal. And then Saturday, Fisher Gardens, Sea Cider Farms, where they take apples and turn them into hard cider. You know I hated that day. And let's see. And then Sunday was that other place. Oh yeah, we went into the Empress Hotel where apparently we were underdressed. We were summarily asked to head back out to the parking lot where people of our ilk are supposed to be, apparently. There was what we could only assume was a $250,000 wedding event there at that point. That's also about the point where we end up heading into the Canadian Museum, which was awesome, and also the point at which my team decided to abandon ship. Yeah, that's a nice way to say it. So that's why they came, and we headed to the surgeons here in a day or two to talk about real futures. So other than that, wish you all, of course, a happy and wonderful Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Lions and Wayne.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, here's a happy five bucks. Lion Maryland sent me a request to find some photos of three of our deceased longtime members, and it was an honor to look back on the Flickr webpage that Lion Josh Claypool uploads to, and see all those wonderful pictures from 2008 and that era. We have a great history of Lionism going on with this club, 100 years. So pretty amazing members, Jim Reineke, and Walt Speck. And anyway, it was great looking at those pictures. You get bored without looking on those pictures.
Yeah, you can go.
Right now.
Thank you, Lions and Wayne. Okay, moving around the table. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know where the Pattersons were on Friday night because I was there too. Past District Governor, one of you Pattersons. Whoever wishes to rise. Oh, she's your first. Well.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. Okay, comment? That's the first. That's the first. President Carrie Ann, Lions and guests. First happy dollar in case, for those of you that did not attend the Christmas party, it was probably one of the best ones we've ever had. We all had a wonderful time, and so that's the first dollar. Second dollar is to honor the Palmers, Hal and Patricia, and the Pattersons, who will be celebrating 55 years and 54 years of marriage, respectively, the day after Christmas. And finally, on the news this morning was an incident that occurred in Hamburg, Germany, regarding a bunch of chess players. Now, they were over there for this tournament. All the grandmasters of all the tournaments around the world. And they get pretty excited, as to say the least. In the Radisson Hotel where they were staying, in the lobby it was a celebration. Well, it got out of hand. And so they had to call the police. Well, the police came, broke it all up, and the next day in the newspaper it says, police arrested chess nuts boasting in an open foyer.
Not like Todd Peck.
Past District Governor Maryland. Sorry to have to
Thank you, sir.
Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. Yeah, that's my husband. And we leave because we won't see you next week. And the week after, we will have gone to Paris, France, and have returned on January 5th. For those of you that don't know, our oldest daughter has chosen somebody, I think the love of her life, and they wanted to get married in Paris. So they are flying mom and dad back and touring us for several days. So looking forward to that.
It's a short flight.
Okay. Well, Mary and I both, and Steve, and several of our family members attended. I don't have a buck for this one. The LCC's nurse graduation last Thursday. So very proud to see our daughter now be inclined, ready to take her exam to be an RN in the future. And what was really special about it is that her son, his girlfriend, our sons both came with all of their children, so it was a very big family event for them. I just so appreciate them showing up, plus some really best friends as well. Just as I was leaving, this woman here was coming out the door. And how is it you knew Jack?
I am married to Jack's dad. Jack's from the first marriage. Yes, Jack was the honors student, Jack Davis. Top with the Lions. And now here's a good one though. Joel's never been to a graduation before. And he said, oh, there won't be very many people. Yeah, 26 of them. And it won't take very long. An hour. All of us who have gone through those programs or had to sit there through their children know very well that they're just laughing. Yeah, I think that's very nice. I'm going over here to Lion John Palmer, who has graced us with his presence. Oh my goodness.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions guests, I'll try to keep it short, but it'll obviously a little while since I've been here, so just update those who haven't been on my social media, just what's going on. Had my second grader had a concert today, and so that's why I was able to escape working. I took a little bit of time to go to her concert and was able to go to that and enjoy it, and then come enjoy this meeting with you guys. Oldest daughter is home from college. She is doing aviation at Central Washington University and got her first solo flight right before had her break. So she'll be going back and she'll be doing cross-country flights and night flights soon. So, and then the middle daughter is busy playing basketball, so we're busy with that. She's made, as a freshman, she's playing varsity for Kelso, so big game tonight. So go Kelso.
John Claypool.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I have a happy dollar. I know we're not supposed to be religious or anything, but I often contemplate what this world would be like if God the Father hadn't sent his Son to save us. Think about that sometime. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas.
Down here, Lion Eric, one of the Arabs. Reforms and
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, use the mic just in case. I got a happy dollar just for ringing the bell, because I hadn't had a chance to do that in a while. And sorry I missed the Christmas party, but now that we're coaching all,
and you'll be very busy. Lion Greg.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions guests, a couple bucks today. First one, I'm glad to see John Paul over here today, and Dave for the second week in a row. And then the other dollar. Everybody keeps talking about the day after Christmas. Well, it just happens the day after Christmas is my mother's 101st birthday.
Wow. Lion Jeff.
President Carrie Ann, is put in and make it a happy buck, and he is incrementally getting better day by day.
Good.
Pretty uncomfortable. However, he said he's thinking about you all, and keep it in your prayers.
Congratulations. DCC help over.
Thank you very much. President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. Wonderful party. Particularly the party that was going on back there. Was there like 17 Halverson kids and something like that? Didn't it feel like that? Yeah. And a few Boudreaux kids, and then there were some Botero grandkids.
Yes.
It was a pretty interesting party. Well organized there, past President Cheryl, and all the help you got. The next happy dollar is, yes, happy anniversary to them, but I need you to know a secret. 57 years ago, Pat's mother and my mother got together and said, we're going to make sure these two never get married.
Oh.
Pretty well didn't work out, did it? Yeah. So, 55 years, and that's amazing. And then I look up here at this whole group, and I'm trying to convince VP and Camarda to come up with their recipe book from Facebook. You know, if you've ever had a chance to see her postings, I told her the next time she posted one like that, my wife and I are coming over for dinner.
Yes.
Pass on chair. Terry Woodruff.
King Line, Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, yeah. Got $5 happy dollars, first of all, for the Christmas party that we had. A job well done by Cheryl and by Sharon, who did a lot of work and everything. The Santa Claus, which Rick got somebody else other than Mark, but he looked like Santa Claus anyway. Anyway, I enjoyed the time, and I haven't been there a long while to one of these things. And the kids back in the back were very polite and everything. They didn't go screaming through the meeting at all. They were great. Unfortunately, the rest of the Eagles back there were. So. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Did I miss anyone? Hello. I'm sorry, Mike.
Give Mike. Thank you. President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I have a couple of dollars today, both happy dollars. One is because I'm finally done after 3 days of putting up Christmas lights outside. And the other one is for I'm finally done over the last 3 days helping my wife do Christmas cookies. So I'm off the hook maybe for 24 hours. She's still making them. Well, we're still making them.
Oh, yeah.
She makes them and I help put the frosting.
Are you the actual taster?
What's that?
Quality control?
Quality
Yeah.
control.
She's trying to fatten me up. It ain't working.
All right. Who's fun?
I know who that is. Not mine.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Frisbee.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. I just want to thank you all that gave to the Salvation Army family. We were able to fulfill our list and then some. That included the $125 that we gave them in Winco gift cards for their Christmas dinner. Plus we got another $250 in Walmart gift cards and a $20 gift card for Fred Meyer's. So thank you guys. You never disappoint.
I do have to introduce the president, Carrie Ann.
If I'm the last one, I can just
No.
use my, Leroy?
I'm sorry. Carrie Ann has to be last. Secretary Leroy.
We just want to see if I can get over this.
Last person on the happy dollar of this, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. This is just a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year dollar.
Well, I have to tell you guys a quick story. So we have the new permanent Christmas lights up on our house. So Tony just got those up over the weekend, but the reason we have those lights is because a couple weeks ago, he decided to get up on the ladder and stretch all of the Christmas lights out and get everything organized to get up. And we had an estate sale happening kind of kitty corner from our house. Well, one of the guys decided to drive through our driveway over all of his lights. So I've never seen him so mad, ever. And so we have some new permanent lights, so check out our house. But also, Hal, I was gonna say, your comment reminded me of my daughter. So your parents should absolutely know when you tell your children something, you tell them the opposite.
That's right.
So they did not do that right. And then the other $1 is to just say a very happy anniversary to my husband. So we got married on Christmas Eve. And this year is our 20th wedding anniversary. So we're going to lunch that day. So I'm super excited. And just really want to say thank you guys so much. I know there was a number of hands involved in our Christmas party. It turned out amazing. My grandkids loved it. It was just absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much. Okay, so next I would like to do a quick little thing. Darlene, are you able to come up here? Or you want me to go to you? Okay. I'll meet her halfway. How about? We'll meet you halfway. I would like to give Darlene this check for $1,149.50 for winning the 50-50 last week.
Yeah.
So the bad news is we have to start all over.
Now she's going to Vegas.
Now she's going to Vegas. There you go. Just want to remind everybody that this is our last meeting of the year. And so next week,
Second to last, we got Thursday night.
we have Thursday evening meeting, yes. So our last Tuesday meeting, no meeting next week, no meeting the week after. So we are returning January 7th, don't forget. And at this time, I'm going to bring John Searing up to introduce our speaker.
Thank you, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. The program today is the company I used to work for 28 years strong. Tote Maritime, we're out of the port of Tacoma. And we do 2 ships. We run to Anchorage, Alaska and back with cargo. A little info about Michael. He's born and raised here in the state of Washington in the Seattle area. He graduated from probably the best university in the state at the UW. Go Dogs. Yeah. Prior to Tote, he worked for an international export company selling groceries to Asia, Central, South America, and the Middle East. He joined Tote in the spring of 2017 in the sales department. He's married for 30 years, has 1 daughter. She's attending UMass Amherst, and majoring in physics. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Michael Weisman, and he'll fill you in about Tote.
I'm going to come over here because I like to move around. I don't like to sit when I'm talking or presenting. So again, I'm Mike Wisman. I work for Tote Maritime, Alaska, based in Tacoma, Washington. Been there a little over 7.5 years. I see a couple. Besides John, there's another old toter with us over here, as we call ourselves. So I'm glad to be here with you today. Thank you.
You're calling her old?
Well, I'm a younger toter than she was a toter. So Oh, okay.
She's age-wise, this company.
Tote wise.
Seniority wise.
It should work now.
There we go. All right, we'll do a quick little safety minute. We always do one when we start our meetings at Tote. We lead with safety. Everything's about safety because if we don't operate safety, we can't go home to our families and friends. So my safety minute for today is make sure your lights are on when you're driving down the highway. On my little trip down from Tacoma, I could not tell you how many times trucks, cars, vehicles did not have lights on, and I was coming up on them pretty fast in the mist and the road spray. So make sure you got your lights on. Be safe out there. We'll talk a little bit about Salt Chuck, our parent company. Then I'll go into Tote, Maritime, Alaska, our conversion to natural gas, and then we'll take some questions and things. So first of all, we are a member of the Salt Chuck family of companies. Salt Chuck is family owned and operated. We are a majority female-owned company. Mr. Mark Garvey, one of the founders, passed off the business to his daughters, so now they're in control of our operation. Founded in 1982. I need to update the slide. We've got about 7,500 employees. We just made another acquisition a few weeks back, and our revenue will be up over $5 billion. We are the largest family-owned company in the state of Washington. Even though we have operations around all the lower 48, Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico, we report our revenues and taxes here in the beautiful state of Washington. Let's see. Oh, we have to drop the slide. Can you drop that down just a hair? Well, yeah, maybe.
If it was easy, everybody would do this.
Perfect. There we go.
Hal knows
All
how.
right. Awesome. So,
Thanks, Hal.
Thanks for giving a hand.
you need something to put underneath it there? All right. Perfect. That'll get us where we're going.
That get us where we're going?
That gets us where we're going.
To the right.
Straighten it out, you
You
know.
guys are so restrained here. I don't know what we're going to do. I might bring out a joke later. We'll see.
Don't do that, he falls asleep.
Yeah. So under the Salt Chuck family of companies, today we have 7 distinct channels of business. Now there has been a change to that, and I'll get to that in a second. So we cover aviation on the far left with Salt Chuck Aviation. We have air operations inside Alaska, from the mainland of the U.S. to Hawaii, and also from the mainland U.S. to Puerto Rico with Strat Air, and then services that surround that. We have our tug and barge, or what we call our marine division under Salt Chuck Marine. So if you know Fox, tug and barge, we own those folks, and we move ships around different ports. Cook Inlet Tug and Barge up in Alaska that brings our ships in and out of the port of Anchorage and elsewhere, including Young Brothers in Hawaii. So if you've ever moved product into your island in Hawaii, it would have gone on Young Brothers barge. North Star Energy is the top of our energy distribution channel. That's something that Tote is, or I should say Salt Chuck is getting into more heavily. We do operate Ohana Fuels in the islands of Hawaii and also Minute Stop. So if you go over there, go to the gas station, get yourself some chicken, because I've heard it's supposed to be the best fried chicken in the islands. In the center, under the domestic shipping channel, we have our Tote Group, which our company belongs to. We are the Jones Act carrier for the Salt Chuck family of companies. Anybody know what the Jones Act is?
U.S. flag.
U.S. flagged and operated and U.S. owned and U.S. built ships. So for that you get.
Yay! She has insider information.
Well, she's my plan, right? One of the coveted Tote safety points. So that's correct. We are the Jones Act carrier. So to be a Jones Act carrier, you have to be U.S. built ships, U.S. owned, U.S. flagged, U.S. crewed, and only transit between U.S. ports. No one else can deliver cargo from Seattle to Anchorage, Alaska, or to Hawaii unless you are a Jones Act carrier. You can move cargo to Hawaii from overseas, or from U.S. out overseas, but you can't do it between ports. That also applies to aircraft as well. It's part of an act that protects our marine waterways, the Mississippi River, and the Great Lakes to make sure that we can operate our ships and get cargo where we need to go, and for military sea led. Underneath that group, we have our terminals business, First Coast Terminals in Jacksonville, Puerto Rico Terminals in San Juan, Tote Maritime Alaska, which I belong to. We have our 2 sister company, Tote Maritime Puerto Rico. They have 2 container ships that move cargo to and from Jacksonville to San Juan, Puerto Rico twice a week. We have a Tote Resources division, that's our back office, and also Tote Services. Tote Services provides the crews that are on our vessels. So we own the assets, Tote Services provides the crews to operate those assets. We do have international shipping with Tropical. They go mostly in the Caribbean islands. Salt Chuck Logistics, which is a growing part of the company I'll touch on in a minute. We own under that Carlisle Transportation. Anybody know Ice Road Truckers? We own those guys. Also, Nomic Global Logistics, that is the Amazon package handler in the Alaska market, and also Shoreside Logistics. They are a dray agent or a drayage company down in Jacksonville. On the far right, one of our most recent acquisitions is OSG, Overseas Shipholding Group. They are a bulk tanker operation, also Jonestown. They operate and bring fuel from Alaska down to Washington to be processed, and it goes back to Alaska as fuel. That was over a $900 million acquisition for the company. So quite new, but not the newest thing we've done. 3 weeks ago, we just announced that we acquired a group called Aqua Gulf. They are a 3PL, or a third-party logistics company, based down in the southeast. They move product to San Juan, Puerto Rico. If you think of someone like FedEx, you take your cargo to them, they'll put it in a box, and they'll get it to the island. So we have rebranded the Salt Chuck Logistics there next to OSG on the left. They are now part of our Tote Group vertical, and it includes Carlisle and everybody rolled up under one operation called Tote Logistics. So we're going to have to amend that slide. So it's getting, the company's growing and growing and growing, so it's great to be part of that operating unit and part of the history of the company. So I'll touch base on this real quick. The NSMV, which is the National Security Multi-Mission Vessel Project. This is something that Tote Services, our shipbuilding and ship management group, has been doing the last few years. They are in partnership with MARAD, which is part of the U.S. government, and also Philly Shipyard, which is a private shipyard facility in Philadelphia. We've been active in setting up and building the new training ships for our maritime academies around the U.S. So the Empire State is in service now through SUNY Maritime, that's State University of New York Maritime Academy. Mass Maritime got theirs this year. State of Maine is going to get theirs early in 2025, and then Texas A&M will get their ship, and then last on the West Coast, Cal Maritime will also get their vessel in 2026. This is a new channel for us. These are training ships that can provide also relief in disasters and things. There's a full staffed hospital on board. They can haul cargo, they can haul ro-ro and containerized cargo, and you can see there's a helicopter in the back, so we can actually land air services if need be. So say, for example, if the fires in Maui had happened when these ships were in service, then that vessel could have been over there and assisted with that. So that area. Let's see, I do have the video. Do you want to roll that? Dedicated, reliable, built to serve. That's the brand promise that we bring to the Alaska market. We're dedicated to our customers. We're dedicated to our teams. We're dedicated to the communities that we serve. Alaska cannot survive without the services that we and our competitors and Alaska Marine Lines, the barge, bring to the market. Reliable. We have to be reliable. We have to be on time. Most of the retailers in the market in Alaska, including Walmart, Target, Home Depot, do not have distribution centers. You market everything is delivered directly to the store. Safeway is the only one that runs a full-service distribution center. So if we're off schedule, if the other competitor, Masson's off schedule, people start to run out of goods in pretty short order. If we're off time for a week, you might start to see signs go up that say only 2 cartons of eggs. And then people go into panic a little bit. So we're like the public utility. You don't know whether we're there until we're not. That's how that works. And then built to serve. Our customers expect our service. Everything we have and maintain is dedicated and designed to meeting the needs of the Alaska market. You can see there's a lot of snow and ice under our ship there in the Cook Inlet, so it gets pretty wild out there in the wintertime. Our service, we go, as John said, from Tacoma to Anchorage twice a week with our 2 vessels, the Midnight Sun and the North Star. The North Star is making her way back. She'll be in port tomorrow in Tacoma. We offer twice weekly service, Wednesdays and Friday nights, which put us back into Anchorage on Sunday and Tuesday mornings for offload. It's about a 66-hour transit time up through the Gulf of Alaska. This time of year, it's really tough to maintain that because you've got 35-foot seas, you've got winds, you've got rolling. Remember those bomb cyclones that we just had? Yeah, Yeah, our ships had to hide out behind the Queen Charlotte's there a little bit. Delayed us about 24 hours, but that's the thing we do for safety. We've been operating for 49 years. In January, we'll enter our 50th year of service to market. We're the most environmentally friendly ships in the trade. We burn natural gas, and we're an extension of the lower 48 supply chain. Our ships, they are Orca-class vessels. John, you guys remember what that means? Orca.
I thought it was a submarine class.
When you build your own ship, you get to name it
Make your own class.
Name it whatever you want. For the steering class.
Didn't vote for that.
We would have come up with a different name.
Yeah.
No, Orca, Ocean Ro-Ro Carrier Alaska is what Orca stands for. So these are specifically built, designed vessels by Tote and Tote Services, and then constructed in California and San Diego with NASCO Shipping. Built in 2003, so very young vessels, considering the vessels they replaced were close to 45 years old. They're about halfway through their service life now. Our capacity is listed at 600 FEU, 40-foot equivalent unit, even though we don't carry traditional 40-foot trailers on our ship like a container ship would. That's how we equate ourselves. We carry 200, including that, we carry about 250 vehicles that roll on this vessel itself. We're set up much like a cruise ship. We have 4 main engines and 2 auxiliaries. We are a diesel electric, gas electric vessel, so the engines are not directly connected to the props on the ship. We actually have electric motors that drive the ship forward. So it's much like a diesel electric locomotive in that regard. We put out about 53 megawatts. Anybody familiar with the city of Renton? About 100,000 people or so. If we were able to pump all the electricity that the ships can generate out to the grid, we could light up the city of Renton with just one vessel. We have 6 decks of cargo. We are 11.5 stories high. We are 118 feet wide, so we're too wide to go through the original Panama Canal, so we are a post-Panamax vessel. We can transit the new canal. 839 feet long, and we can maintain a speed of up to 25 knots, which is pretty darn fast. If you think about traditional container ships, they go about 14, 15 knots on the water at full steam, and we can get up to 25 if need be to make our schedule.
Hey, Michael?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell them what I don't know if they know what a Ro-Ro is.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I'll get to that. You're jumping ahead. So, roll on, roll off. We are a Ro-Ro vessel, roll on, roll off. So everything that goes onto our ship stays on the wheels. Nothing gets lifted off and put on the vessel and stowed in stacks like a container ship would, or a Lolo vessel lift on, lift off. It allows us to use our equipment. Customers can use their own equipment. We carry a lot of military equipment on board, tanks and Humvees, you name it. If it's on wheels, we can put it on board the vessel. We move all the big pieces. A lot of yellow iron. Anybody know what yellow iron is? No. Think about your cat, your cat D9 caterpillars, things like that. Anything painted yellow, we call that yellow iron. So we move that up to Alaska as well.
Well, if you're hauling tanks to Alaska, are they getting ready to defend Russia?
We move training missions in and out. Yeah, the Arctic Edge is a big program right now in Alaska, so we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Our terminal gate in Tacoma, we are open from 0800 to 2300 hours. That's 11 p.m. for non-military folks. Even on ship nights. That is important because customers can bring cargo to us while we are actually loading and unloading the vessel. Container ship is normally cargo comes in, it's put into a stow plan, the gates are shut, and then they go to work on the ship. So our vessels, when they come in, we are able to turn them in about 8 hours in port versus a full 24 hours. Vehicles, we drive on and off the ship. That is our President's Camaro. It has made the journey twice, once up to Alaska and once back. We stow them in watertight stow below deck, so they're completely out of the weather. You can see the width we have between the vehicles there. Our damage rate is very, very low. We move
Better than that Washington State ferry.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you anchor those cars? Do you have to anchor those cars?
Correct, we do. We anchor them down. We tie them down straps, and then the watertight doors are lowered. We carry all the OEMs except for Ford right now. They're with the other guy, and we're working on that. Our port turnaround is 8 hours. That's between the time the vessel comes in, ties up, the ramps are up, cargo is put on, ramps are dropped, and the ship departs. So we're only We're only in town for a short period of time on Wednesdays and Friday nights. Our equipment is a little hard to see, a little bit of an eye chart. Apologies for that. So in addition to your normal 40-foot containers and 53-foot trailers on the road, we have flatbeds, 40s, 45s, and 53s we can tie the cargo onto, put it on the ship. We have insulated trailers. It's very cold in Alaska. Product freezes quite often, very, very quickly. So our trailers are insulated. We can plug them into a building. They'll go into 220 power. I think it's 220, 440, 220? 240, sorry, checking on that. Thank you for the fact check. 240 power. It will keep cargo at ambient temperature, but it will not go like to 60 or 70 degrees, but it does keep it from freezing. A lot of our customers have plugs in the back of their doors of their stores, and we'll plug the trailers in so they can unload the cargo so it doesn't freeze and go off. And then also refrigerated trailers. So 30s, 40s, 53s, we have dual temps, we have tri-temps. If you've eaten a McDonald's hamburger in Alaska, it's been on our ship because we do haul all the McDonald's hamburgers up to Alaska. Our Tacoma terminal. John worked down Tacoma, that terminal there in port. 43 acres, very, very linear layout, very easy to move trailers in and out. We can actually discharge a full vessel's worth of trailers in the yard, then it starts to get a little full. So we like our customers to be turning that equipment as quickly as possible. Whenever John sends the video around, the little Hostler trucks you see on the left, they're number 358. That's how we move the trailers on and off the ship. We don't actually have semi-trucks driving on board. We just have the Hostlers moving the cargo on and off the ship. Yes, question?
Where do the McDonald's burgers originate from?
Auburn.
Where? Where?
Auburn, Washington. It comes out of distribution service.
Cows.
Yeah, cows. I wasn't going to say cows.
Rick did it for us.
Oh, man. Well, this is a tough group. The Alaska terminal up in Port of Alaska in Anchorage, also about 43 acres. You can see it's kind of laid out in a little zigzag there. We have a little bit of an issue. That green area behind the vessel over there, that is Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson. So quite often you hear and see the sound of freedom flying overhead as they come in and out on their air operations, F-35s and the like. We do have a rail spur, so we can surface load rail cars to and from Fairbanks. Yes, sir.
You keep referencing that John worked there for 28 years.
Yeah.
You have actually one picture?
Proof where it didn't happen.
Yeah,
We haven't seen it.
It might be the 50th anniversary calendar this year. No, John worked real hard.
The door in my office, I closed it.
But we surface load rail cars up to Fairbanks for the military, so when they move their things down from Isles and Air Force Base, etc., we can move those. The rail connection in Alaska is all top-seat, trailer on flat car. So it is not like your traditional container stack train in Alaska where you see 2 or 3 containers stacked in a 40-foot space. All of our trailers get picked up and put onto the rail cars in a piggy packer fashion, or a ride piggyback. So a lot of new terms for you guys today. Go ahead and take those home to the grandkids. We invest in technology, so all of our trailers are connected to the internet. We can track them, we can trace them through GPS. You can actually do that on your phone. You can do it on your desktop. A lot of customers like that because they can figure out where things are coming and when it's going to be delivered. We also have temperature monitoring on hand on the trailers. We get alerts and alarms if something is going on. It helps save us from paying out claims of $80,000 or $90,000 if someone's product, starts to melt. Melted ice cream at Fred Meyer is not a good look. A little schematic of our vessel there. You can see how it's laid out. It's blown open. We are dual rudder, dual shaft, so 2 propellers. Everything is built around redundancies with our vessels, so we can actually operate on one side of the ship if the other should go down. The engines as well can be run in series, and you can run 1 and 3 and 4, or 2, 3, 4, depending on your power needs and what you need to have to run the vessel at speed. Yes, sir. Both our vessels are LNG, correct. And the ones in Puerto Rico, those are container ships. They're the Marlin class, and they are also LNG powered.
They came out of the shipyard on LNG. Ours, we converted from diesel to natural gas over a 5-year period. Actually, it's stored it cryogenically minus 240 degrees, so it actually holds itself in refrigeration. We don't have to add refrigeration for that. Forward on the vessel, we have a little thing on the front there called the turtle back that helps break the green water that does wash over the top of the vessel. Even though it's 11.5 stories off the water, we still get those 35-foot waves breaking over the front of the ship. So that keeps cargo from disappearing off the side like the old vessels. Also, about halfway back under the Maritime, there is ice-hardened steel in the front of the ship, so we can actually push the ice pans out of the way in the cook inlet in the wintertime. You can see it's not a real cargo-dense ship because you've got trailers, they're interrupted by different decks. So it is part of why we're the express model. We're also the higher cost model in getting to Alaska versus a container ship. The cars are stored aft and above the shafts, and then in the tank top on the bottom in the middle. Other than that, they're operated by a crew of about 25 merchant mariners. They're always on the ships. They're on the 10-week rotations, staggered, so 10 weeks on, 10 weeks off. So we have 4 captains, 4 first mates, etc. That operate the vessel. Our conversion to LNG. We had to convert to natural gas as the cleanest option we have right now to get us to current and future EPA standards and IMO, International Maritime Standards, versus burning bunker fuel, or HFO, that a lot of other steamships are burning. Those ships, they have to put scrubbers on to pull the pollutants out of the exhaust stream. We didn't want to do that. Our ships were pretty young, so we went through the process. It was about a 12-year project total through design and then execution to get the ships fully converted to run on natural gas. We did that up in Victoria Shipyard up in Victoria, Canada. Someone just was up there. So the nice folks in Canada did the work for us. So it lowers our SOx emissions, so sulfur oxides. The particulate matter gets reduced almost 100%, and then the nitrogen oxides as well, reduced close to 95%. So you think about stuff that's coming out of the stacks of your diesel trucks, your steamships and things. Those particulate matter, that actually lands on the glaciers and melts them a lot faster than what they should. So that's one reason, another reason why we actually went to natural gas. Let's see. I joined Tote right as we started that project. So in the spring and then in the fall, they said, hey, here, you need to go talk to your customers and tell them why we're only going to have one ship for 8 weeks. And we're going to put the cargo somewhere else for 8 weeks on a different vessel. So that was my initiation into Tote, and I'm glad it's over. So we're back to normal operations. The LNG facility, we have a partnership with Puget Sound Gas, which is part of Puget Sound Natural Gas, so Puget Energy. We have the facility right across the street from our terminal. So the lower right picture is a stainless steel pipeline that runs under Alexander Avenue and then pops up on terminal with a filling arm right behind the back of the vessel when we do come into port there. It is called a chick stand. Can you call the jokes you want right now? That's what we call it. That's the technical term. But we have our own filling station. So we do come in and we bunker the vessel. In the summertime, when the weather's good, maybe once a month, we're bunkering the vessels and actually adding gas. In the wintertime, we're probably bunkering every 2 or 3 sailings. We're actually putting more gas on board. We are the only marine user of the gas that's in that facility. The rest of it is stored for the local market. So when the weather's cold and people turn on the stoves and turn on their heaters, that will actually take the liquefied gas and pump it back out into the local utility to service the homes. There's about 8 million gallons of natural gas liquefied in that facility, and it all comes out of Lower BC up in Surrey, so it comes down the existing pipelines to that facility there in Tacoma. Tote and Green Marine. This is one of the last slides. We have a lot of customers, a lot of companies that are trying to check their carbon footprints. And so they all ask us to go into different systems and log in what our carbon footprint is. So Tote and Tote Group took the opportunity to work with a company called Green Marine. They provide services, so they check all of our
emissions from the ships to our dockside, to our wastewater, to give us a rating that we can actually publish to customers, and they can look at that and they can log that into their systems. And so we got a 4-star rating at 5, and we're working on that 5th star as we go along. So launched that last year, so that's come full circle for us about 18 months ago. Other questions? Yes, sir. Go right here first.
I've known John Syrian for about 60 years, so my condolences.
Yikes.
The first question, I love it. The first question is, you mentioned Merchant Marines. What's their wage range starting?
I'm not part of the union, so I could not tell you what their wage range is now.
Do they ever have an open office for people to go?
Oh, there's our video.
I knew how to do it.
We have to skip that though, Hal, because of the time.
Yeah, we'll skip that next time. John can send it around.
And there are several elements that go into success about it. One is
You'll stop it eventually.
unplug it, Hal.
There it is.
I want you to let you know I can do it.
But to your point, and officer Tinker, we're asking about it.
Do you have accommodations between Seattle and Anchorage?
We do have an owner's day room or owner's day cabin on both vessels. We do auction cost rides back on the ship from Alaska occasionally, so we've done those.
Oh.
Did John ever go on a boat?
Did you
I'm
get
gonna die on land.
Did you get a ride certificate when you retired?
No, but Dale's gonna get me one.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. Something you get as a perk at some point. So, yes, sir.
Mike, you mentioned ice road truckers earlier. I've watched those on TV and see what they go through. Do they hire the drivers out of asylums?
And no comment on that. Sometimes, to that point though, the labor pool in Alaska is pretty small. You've got about 700,000 residents in the state of Alaska. The majority of them live in Anchorage in the valley, which is out near Wasilla, where that famous governor came from. Down the Kenai Peninsula and also Fairbanks. The rest of Alaska is only serviceable by bush plane, barge, etc., where the villages are. So the labor pool we struggle with in Alaska. A lot of our retail customers, in Fairbanks especially, you might work at Fred Meyer, you get fired, you go to Walmart. You get fired, you go to Home Depot. You get fired, you go to Safeway. And then you get hired back at Walmart because they have there's no pool to pull from. So, yeah, the drivers up there are very interesting group of folks. So if you want to make a lot of money, you can go to Alaska now and drive a truck, for sure. Question? Yeah?
Concerning the liquefied natural gas, with all the government regulations they're trying to impose on natural gas, is that going to pose a problem for you?
No, we're okay with that. There was the state initiative on don't take my stoves or things like that that came around. We're committed to that for the long term, and so we don't see any issues. There's no path backwards for us. We could go to liquefied, we could go to ultra low sulfur diesel, which is pretty much what you burn in your diesel vehicle on the road, but it's so much more expensive, we can't afford to operate that. So we're going forward. So anyway, thank you, everybody.
Michael, great information. Thank you for driving down here from Tacoma too. That is wonderful. Very nice of you to do so. And I'd like to trade you for that amazing coin that's on the table over there that I saw for our Pioneer Lions beer mug that you can share a drink with John Searing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes.
I was going to say, if anybody would like a tour, if anybody would like a tour of the vessel, if you're up in Tacoma, just reach out to John.
Oh, yes.
So we can arrange something like that if you're not doing anything on a Friday or Saturday night. If you want to come to the terminal and see the operation down board the vessel, just reach out to John.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I would love to do that. That sounds amazing.
On a booking fee.
Okay, guys, we're running out of time, so I just want to give you some quick announcements. I've got some letters and thank yous that I'm going to skip through. This time, maybe we'll get that read in January. We have the evening meeting that's coming up. We've got a speaker that's showing up, Janus Youth Programs of Cowlitz County. So the evening meeting is this month, December 19th, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Ashtown. Please come to that if you can. It'll be the last one, obviously, of the year for us. If you do not find parking, you are able to park in the Keller Williams parking lot across the street. But let's use that as just a backup if possible, so you have a spot if it's full down there. Hal, do you have a quick announcement for us?
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, 2 LCIF announcements. A reminder, you've got 2.5 weeks to make a nice deductible contribution to the Lions Club International Foundation. Second, met with Monica Seidel yesterday. Want to work on putting a committee together to evaluate how we might be able to help Belize Blessings. So I'm looking for volunteers for that committee. If you would email me, text me, call me, slap me upside the head to let me know. So, 3 or 4 to look at the options.
Okay.
Thank you.
Will you pass that to Cheryl?
Does that include a trip to Belize?
It includes a trip to Belize.
Yes, it does.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, in the interest of time, I'm just going to skip most of this here and go to the most important piece. Past presidents, I know it's early, but I'm going to be gone part of January and part of February. Yay! So I'm trying to get a jump on it. Please let me know if you'd like to have a lunch or a dinner meeting for us to work out our board nominating slate. And be sure and let me know if there's any place in town you absolutely will not eat, because I'm going to be making reservations pretty soon.
Okay, thank you. As we close our Pioneer Lions meeting for the season, let us take a moment to reflect on the true gifts of the season. Blessings of friendship, family, and to the ones that we lost this year. The holiday season reminds me of the importance of connection, cherishing those around us and giving back to those in need. May the warmth of this season fill your hearts and homes, and may the bonds we've strengthened here continue to inspire us in the year ahead. I'm wishing you and your loved ones a joyful, peaceful, and meaningful holiday season coming from my heart.